want you to pan the camera for our viewers to get a sense of the activity and the movements happening outside Dharmendra ji's residence at this point, for them to know why we're also bringing this update to them. We do know that the actor has been critical for a while, but tell us what you see around you. I see dozens of policemen and police officers there. I see barricading happening as well. So take us through what you see around you. We want to get a sense of the movements taking place.
Sure, just to put it in some sort of context, this is not the exact location where his house is located at, because the entry even close to his house has been made limited for media. But this is the Juhu area, and the close by places closest to where we can get an entry to as far as his residence or close by places is concerned. But as you can very clearly see on the screen right now, there is a huge amount of police protection that has been put here. Of course, the media presence is also there. We're seeing that Juhu is one of the more crowded places in Mumbai, so there are cops who are also given the responsibility of making sure that the traffic flows very normally. But an important thing to understand that although we are seeing some sort of environment getting created here, but we are still waiting for the official confirmation about the health update, and that is something that we need to remember. But one thing that we can report on is that in the last few weeks that we've been following up with the health update of Dharmendra outside his residence or in the other places of Mumbai, be it the other areas of Juhu or the Bridge Candy hospital where he was admitted in, this amount of security was not in place. This amount of security was not seen. So, one can pick up whatever they want to from this, but we are still waiting for an official confirmation. And as you just saw on your screen right now, police officials, even the senior police officials from the close by police stations are present here, trying to guard the privacy of the family. But to reiterate again, we are still waiting for an official confirmation from the family. Back to the studio.
All right. And Anuj, I want to understand from you, when was the last time we got a health update on Dharmendra ji?
The last update that we got was almost 10 days back, where an official letter was put out by Dharmendra's daughter and by the official spokesperson of the family when he got discharged from the Bridge Candy hospital, which stated that his health is stable. But what was also told to us by the doctors in the Bridge Candy hospital is that the rest of the treatment would carry on in his house, in his private residence, and that is why all the action shifted from the hospital to his house, and whatever environment you're seeing getting built up here around the Juhu area is close by to his house. But yes, to answer your question, the last health update that we got from the family and from the hospital authorities was almost 8 to 10 days back, where we were told, of course, the words that they chose were very careful. There was never a mention of his health improving, but his health being stable, and the rest of the treatment was to continue at his private residence here in Juhu.
With me, I want to bring to our viewers that last health update that was shared by Esha Deol. It was on the 11th of November, and she had said, "My father is stable and recovering. We request everyone to give our family privacy. Thank you for the prayers for Papa's speedy recovery." That was from Esha Deol. Coming back to you, Anuj, the family has been very clear for the media to keep its distance in the last couple of days, especially after the actor went home. We've seen emotional moments, we've seen angry moments as well, but they've kept that distance, so it's best to wait and hear from the family on an update. But looking at the movements around you, and obviously we're going to be very responsible in our reporting here, what we know as of now is that an ambulance has gone in, and the daughter Esha Deol has also just entered some time ago her father's residence. Any other update that you have for us at this moment?
Just to give a little bit of a recap, yes, the last update that we got from Esha Deol was, on the 11th of November. But a couple of days before that, we got to know that actor Dharmendra was admitted to the Bridge Candy hospital, and then there were several news items that were floating across different media channels. Although we've been very careful about updating the viewers only with that information which is confirmed either by the hospital or by the family. And after there was this emotional backlash that was given by the family, especially Sunny Deol, who came out in public and told the media to give them some sort of a privacy. That happened almost a week back, and since then, one can see that there was no major health update. But today, the action has picked up pace yet again, right in the morning, where, as you stated very correctly, there was the entry of an ambulance which happened inside the premises, and then the actor's daughter, that is Esha Deol, who has been at the forefront of communicating the health updates either through social media or other means, was also seen entering the house. What we believe is that several members of the Deol family are also there inside the residence, but we do not have an exact, exact confirmation on who exactly was present there with Esha Deol. But yes, the movement of ambulance, which becomes critical in moments like this, was seen. In fact, an ambulance entered the house, premises of the house, and also entered, or rather went outside the house. But we are, as we've been saying it again, we are still waiting for an official confirmation. The last official health update that we got on Dharmendra was, as you said, on the 11th earlier this month, where the daughter stated that his health was stable and recovering, but nothing more has been added after that.
So let's just talk about the actor. He was at Breach Candy Hospital about 2 weeks back. And of course, we were getting a lot of updates from there. There were these staggered but frequent health update bulletins also that we got on the actor. But then the family choosing at this point over the last 10 days to take him home and await his recovery there, though he remained critical, Anuj?
Well, yes, you see, the actor Dharmendra's health has been, hasn't been the greatest for the last few months. We know that, quite coincidentally, the teaser or the motion poster of his last film, dropped just a while back. And that was the last appearance that we got of the actor just a while back. But after that, we saw that, after he started complaining of breathlessness earlier this month, it is only after that that he was transferred to the Breach Candy Hospital. And while he was there in the hospital, there was a regular communication of the health updates on a regular basis. But, after that after the outpour of the emotions that happened by the family because of the treatment that certain media channels meted out to the family, either outside the Breach Candy Hospital or outside the residence of the actor, one can see that that resulted in the family cutting down on the communication. But again, it is important to understand. Just now we saw a vehicle moving. We believe it is the actor's wife, Hema Malini, actress and MP Hema Malini, who has also entered the premises. So yes, as we've been reporting on it for quite some time now, there has been movement of actors, family members, be it Esha Deol and Hema Malini. These are the only two family members that we have reported live from this location, and we also expect there to be other members of the family in and around this particular place.
Anuj, do stand by. I'm going to come back to you in a moment from now. But I believe Abhishek Avasthi is also with me. He joins me. Abhishek, I believe you were around the residence of the actor. You've seen family members go in. We've just been told by Anuj that actor Hema Malini and wife of Dharmendra also just entered the residence. We're seeing a lot of hectic movement happening in and around the residence of the actor. What is the latest? What can you share with our viewers?
See, what we understand, since morning itself, something it was that he is unwell is something that sources has told, and that's why entire media was outside his residence. There were proper barricading. In fact, police security.
All right, there seems to be a signal drop there with Abhishek. We'll try and reconnect with him. I still have Anuj Raite with me. He's just some distance away from Dharmendra ji's residence. We're being told by Abhishek there that since this morning, there was news coming in that the actor is critical, after which you've seen a heavy barricading happening in and around his Juhu residence. Going back to Anuj. Anuj, the crowd is growing behind you. It's getting larger and larger from the last time we spoke, which was just about a minute ago. But just tell us what's happening around you. Abhishek also trying to get to the spot that you're at. But the last we spoke, you said that actor Hema Malini also was on her way into the residence of the actor. What can you share with our viewers?
Well, again, to put it into some sort of context, this is not the residence of the actor. This is only the place that they've been given an access to. But this is the Juhu area. This is the area where movement is expected to happen, if there is any sort of news that comes our way. But as you can clearly see, these are the major centers in Juhu where the police barricading has intensified. In fact, the entire route here in the Juhu region has been cleared, and the police here are making sure that the traffic is contained to as great degree as possible possible by them. But again, what is important for us to understand is that when those pieces of news were dropping over a couple of weeks back, we saw that a lot of people were also trying to make their way to Juhu, or especially to Dharmendra's house, a house which, to put it into some sort of context, is very close to where Jalsa is, Amitabh Bachchan's house. So there is a lot of people who usually come to this place, just to have a glance of their favorite Bollywood or Hindi cinema actor. And after those pieces of news dropped, a lot of people started storming in there as well. So the family required or needed privacy, not just from the media, but they also needed privacy from a lot of these fans, which is one of the reasons why, as we've been reporting on, the communication was cut down. But the amount of movement that we are seeing since the last couple of hours is something that we haven't seen in the last 2 weeks, or especially since that last clarification came from Esha Deol on the 11th of November. As we've been reporting, we saw although we believe that more number of family members are expected to be inside the residence or in the different areas of the Juhu region here, but what we saw is actor's wife Hema Malini, who wasn't really present when we were here at the residence a couple of weeks back. She was, she's also made her way through to this area. We believe that other family members are also present here, but again, important thing for us to understand is that the police is trying to restrict the entry, restrict the movement of the traffic and of the unwanted material that the family would want some sort of privacy from, to as great a degree as possible. Back to the studio.
Of course, this is a very important and critical moment for the family when the actor himself is critical, and they've made it clear that they don't want any kind of impingement on their privacy in terms of chatter, which is not necessary at this point. Here at NDTV in Breaking Ground, we're being extremely cautious, just bringing to you what's happening in and around the residential area of actor Dharmendra ji. We do know that Esha Deol has entered the residence of the actor. We know that Hema Malini is also there. But also at a moment like this, Anuj, we should talk about that poster that has also dropped some time back on the actor's latest movie that he is a part of.
Well, yes, and that's the point that I was trying to make a while back. The actor's last film that he shot for is Sriram Raghavan's 21, which will be releasing later, this year on the eve of December, on 25th of December. And, as a tribute to him, as a tribute to all the fans who've been waiting to get one glimpse, we saw a motion poster, drop not too long ago, in fact, only a few hours back, where there is the frame of Dharmendra ji, then there is also a voice of one of his dialogues in the film, something that really caught the attention of the fans who've been waiting desperately to get at least one piece of update on his health update, especially after the last one, which we got, almost 12 or 13 days back. But, it becomes very coincidental that the day, so much of movement is happening around his residence, so much of movement is happening around the place where he's spent so many years of his, professional life in Juhu. Just to know the context, as we all know, he started his film career in 1960. It's been more than 65 years that he's been around this entire place, right? And if there's one place, although he did divert to politics and did take a backseat as far as acting is concerned, but a majority of his majority of the mileage that he's gotten from his acting career is related to the Juhu area, which is why the traction that this place gets and the affection that the people also have with the residents of actors like these becomes an important point for us to understand. And that is the reason why the Mumbai police is on its toes and trying to make sure that no sort of news, no sort of an update or the next update that we probably are expecting from the family would lead to any sort of disruption in the close by areas, because it's a working day, it's an afternoon, and there is the heavy movement of vehicles as well. So one can say that on one hand we are seeing a massive amount of movement outside the residence of the actor and in the close by areas. We're also seeing heavy deployment of the police officials, just trying to make sure that there is no sort of stagnancy that creeps in once any update comes our way from the family.
Loved actor as well, Anuj. Even when he was critical and at Breach Candy Hospital, we saw so many celebrities going in and ensuring that they get an update on Dharmendra the actor.
Well, yes, Vedika, the amount of love that we saw coming towards Dharmendra was unprecedented. And it was no surprise. This is considered to be the ultimate he-man of the Hindi film industry, someone who's been active and been at the top of his game for the longest possible time in Hindi film industry, ever since his debut in his first film in 1960. And ever since then, he's built strong relationships, not just with the people who are in the film industry, but also from people from across the field, and be it people in politics, be it people in diplomacy or in other factors as well, wherever he's been involved either as a political or as a social figure. And most of these people, including including the three Khans, made a point to visit Bridge Candy Hospital. Again, security becomes a concern when we talk about movement of superstars, when we talk about movement of actors to such busy places, which is why we saw, Salman and Shah Rukh chose late night hours to go to Bridge Candy, similar to Amir Khan, and all of these people also made a point to visit, Dharmendra's house, or the hospital where Dharmendra was admitted. And since then, there has been no update, as we've been saying, not just from the family, but even the rest of the fraternity has been quite cautious about giving any sort of an update, which they probably would have received from the family or the hospital authorities, given that they met the actor in person.